Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an insight. Episode 229. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, in the previous episode we heard that Raghuveer Bhaskar Purandare had a desire to grow plants in Shiradi that would bear fragrant flowers, and it can be offered to Sri Sai Maharaj. For this sake, he brought plants from Mumbai accompanied by 3 of his friends and reached Shiradi. They all reached Radhakrishna Mai's house by Tonga and unloaded the heavy mud pots that had the flowering plants from the cart to Radhakrishna Mai's house. Her home was like a storehouse for all the things that were to be used or offered to Sri Sai Baba. Divine Mother was very good at planning and collecting things that she felt was required in the puja of Sri Sai Baba. She never hesitated to ask the affluent devotees to offer articles for Sri Sai Baba. Radha Krishna Mai is the brainchild in organizing the activities for Sri Sai Baba during his tenure in Shiradi, and the same is adhered by Shiradi Sai Sansthan today. Her service to Sri Sai is of paramount importance. Though Sri Radhakrishna Mai's house was a small hut, the house was filled with articles gifted by the devotees. Now Purandare and his friends wished to have Dhuli Darshan, that is the preliminary darshan of Sri Sai Maharaj. They went to Dwaraka Mai and stood in the queue. It was time for Arati. So Jog was making preparations for Arati. Sri Sai Maharaj was quiet until then. Suddenly, without any reason, got enraged, began to scold and roll his eyes. Purandare didn't mind the reactions of Sri Sai Maharaj, whereas his 3 friends, H.A. Pandit, Moreshwar Pandit, Daji Pandurang Vartak, were getting nervous to see the behavior of Sri Sai Baba, as they were new to that. So, Purandare was persuading them to come forward without any fear. Other devotees were surprised to see Purandare progressing closer to Sri Sai Maharaj, who was in an angry mood. Sri Sai Baba asked, "Who all have come here? How many days are you all going to stay here?" Purandare responded in a clear tone, "I will stay as per your decree and leave when you permit me to." In fact, Purandare was a government employee still working in GIP railway workshop. He never cares about his job. There has been circumstances that his leave had exhausted, still he was not permitted by Sri Sai Baba to go out of Shiradi. This is because Sri Sai Maharaj loves to have Purandare in Shiradi, so he would not give him permission that easily. Same was the feeling of Purandare towards Sri Sai Baba. Hence, without any hesitation or anxiety, he stayed back for extended periods. At the beginning, Sri Sai had a casual talk with Purandare, but immediately he got angry at him and asked, "Can't you be quiet? You're always coming here. What do you find here? Why are you like this?" Outwardly, it sounds as though Sri Sai didn't want to be troubled by Purandare's frequent visits, but he earns for it. Now, after the Arati, receiving Udi from Sri Sai Baba, Purandare and his friends left the masjid and came to Radha Krishna Mai's house. Meanwhile, mother had prepared food for them and they all sat down to eat the meals. While they were eating, mother told Purandare, Tai, as soon as you finish eating, go to Sai Ma and get his approval to plant these saplings. Otherwise, they may die. Purandare, after completing his meal, came to Dwarakamai. By then, everyone had left for their home or lodging for lunch. Usually, none disturbs Sri Sai Baba at that time of the day. But Purandare never worries about timing or situation. His intention is only to follow the directions of the Divine Mother and complete the task he has undertaken. So, the moment he entered the masjid, he was welcomed with scoldings by Sri Sai. Almost for an hour, he stood still on the steps of the masjid, listening to the screams and furious words of Sri Sai Baba. After Sri Sai Baba's tone came to a casual mode, Purandare climbed the steps of the masjid, went closer to Sri Sai Maharaj and in a resolute voice said, Baba, in your puja, fragrant flowers is not used as they are unavailable in Shiradi. This troubles me. Hence, from Mumbai, I have got saplings that would give fragrant flowers. I have decided to plant them on either side of the road from Chavadi until Satewada. If I do this, then the plants would give you shade while you trek on this path and the flowers can be used in your puja. By your divine grace, a devotee by named M.A. Devare had helped me by giving high quality saplings of fragrant flowers. I have brought all the plants here for this sake, so please grant me approval. Also, I want to have creeper plants to be on the ark that is at the entrance of the Lendibag. Please bless these plants so that they grow well. Sri Sai Maharaj was admiring Purandare's courage because despite being reprimanded by Sri Sai Maharaj a few minutes ago, without any alteration in his thoughts, he is standing in front of him seeking permission to execute the plan. Devotees, it is not easy to convince Sri Sai Maharaj, though he is willing to agree to the wish of the devotee. He enjoys putting them to the test. So, Sri Sai Baba, after listening to Purandare, said in a firm tone, Look, I am not interested in any flowering plants or creepers. You take them and make a garden at your home. If you desired, otherwise throw them away. You can give those flowers to those whom you like. Don't ever come here with the intention to plant anything. Thus, the proposal of Purandare was rejected by Sri Sai Maharaj. The scoldings also continued. Purandare felt miserable as all his wishes were getting shattered. With a dejected mind, he went straight to Sri Radhakrishna Mai's house and sat on the veranda, supporting his hand on his cheeks. He was so depressed that even the following day he didn't come to Dwarakamai. Sri Sai Maharaj yearns for Prema Bhakti. He was already missing Purandare, whereas there was no sign of Purandare coming to the masjid. He was so sad that Sri Sai Maharaj had not permitted him to plant the saplings. He feared that the plants might die. His mind was fully occupied with these thoughts and nothing else. Sri Sai Baba couldn't wait anymore and at 8:30 p.m. he called the devotee by name Mahadu and said, You go and bring Bhav. Mahadu came to Purandare and gave the message. Whereas Purandare turned his face to the other side, not willing to listen or see anyone despite knowing that he was sent by Sri Sai Maharaj to call him. Then he told Mahadu that it's night and not the right time to go into the masjid, hence he would come tomorrow morning. Mahadu passed on Purandare's message to Sri Sai Baba. It is not necessary for the all-pervasive Sri Sai Maharaj to understand the thoughts of Purandare through Mahadu. He is omniscient and aware of the past, present and the future. Everything is unveiled to him. Sri Sai Baba sent Mahadu for the second time with the instruction, "Get him here at any cost. If he refuses to come, don't hesitate to tie him with a rope and drag him here." Even when Mahadu came for the second time, conveyed the message of Sri Sai Baba and asked him to accompany to the masjid, Purandare was not inclined to go. Devotees, Sri Radhakrishna Mai had great intuitional powers that she could foretell the thoughts of Sri Sai Baba. At this juncture, Mother told Purandare, "Tai, I strongly feel that there must be a good reason for Sai Ma to call you at this odd hour. So don't ignore the divine call. Sai Ma's divine powers can even make the dead plant sprout. So do not worry." As Sri Radhakrishna Mai was speaking to Purandare, tears began to flow profusely from the eyes of Purandare. "All the plants have dried. Now what is the reason for him to call me?" Listeners might wonder why Purandare must make an uproar just for the sake of these saplings. What would be the big deal if Sri Sai Maharaj hadn't permitted him to plant them? But devotees, please pay your full attention to understand the intent of Purandare in this regard. He has an irresistible heartthrob every time to serve his Sai Ma to the best of his ability in all possible manners. You must listen to the dialogue of Purandare to Sri Sai Baba that depicts his mental agony as he was not permitted to do his service. When Sri Sai Maharaj denied permission for planting the saplings, Purandare, with tears overflowing from his eyes, said, "You are not allowing me to plant the saplings. They are getting dried. Your grace alone is enough. I will not take them back. You can decorate the flowers of these plants on my dead body." Devotees, these words of Purandare leaves me in horripilation. Even to utter such words in the presence of the absolute supreme being, one must be very courageous. A fanatic with unswerving faith and loving devotion can only speak like this. He had high hopes and aspirations to accomplish this task, but when they got shattered, it was very hard for him to accept the failure of this task and was greatly dejected. Getting back to the original thread, Sri Radhakrishna Mai convinced Purandare to accompany Mahadu to Dwaraka Mai in response to Sai Ma's call. As soon as he stepped into Dwaraka Mai, Sri Sai Maharaj spoke thus, "Bau, do you know how much I had to mend my ways for your sake, though it's of no interest to me? Why are you this stubborn?" While Sri Sai Maharaj was speaking to him, Purandare was in uncontrollable tears and he said, "I came with lot of excitement to plant those beautiful saplings for you, whereas you didn't permit me and they have started to wither. This is really making me very sad." In response, Sri Sai Baba said, "I have always altered my thoughts to fulfill your wishes and I am going to do that even now. You don't understand my plight and torture me always with your new plans. I am unable to sit peacefully at Dwaraka Mai and Chavadi because of your over-enthusiasm and ever-new ideas." As Purandare was sobbing, Sri Sai Baba pulled his hand, made him sit next to him, stroking his head gently and applying Udi to his forehead, said, "Bab, why are you troubling yourself so much?" Sri Sai Baba was very emotional at this moment because he missed seeing Purandare for the past 2 days as the latter didn't come to Dwaraka Mai. Owing to his anger towards Sri Sai Maharaj, Sri Sai said in a loving tone, "Though I get angry at you and scold you, I remember you always and have deep love for you. Do you know that? Did you think the plants will die? They will not die as I will protect them. Don't worry, your intention is to plant these saplings. Go and do it right now. Don't wait for tomorrow morning, as the roots will not penetrate then. But to plant them, you need to bring the soil under the banyan tree, as that soil is good and the plants survive. Purandare, who has been crying all this time, became so happy and excited. Devotees, to recall the above assurance, was in fact given by Sri Radhakrishna Mai to Purandare while convincing him to go to Dwarakamai with Mahadu. Sri Sai Baba knew that Divine Mother is the brainchild for all this, so told Purandare, now go to Radhakrishna Mai. Purandare ran with excitement to Radhakrishna Mai's home and shared the good news with her. Immediately she said, see, you were reluctant to go. Didn't I tell you that our Sai Ma loves you unconditionally and will certainly permit you to fulfill your wish? It was already 9 p.m., but both became very energetic and wanted to complete the work instantaneously. At this odd hour, how did they plant those saplings? Did those plants survive? What were the other desires of Purandare? And many more divine sports of Sri Sai Maharaj connected to Purandare can be heeded in the coming episode. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.